This is Boxing Tickets NI. We're delighted to be joined once again with a Kingdom Warrior, Kevin Cronin. How are you, Kevin?
Oh, good. How are you, Steve?
Struggling on. It's a Saturday. I've caught you obviously just before the Six Nations. Obviously, you're looking forward to watching Ireland and England and the rugby, I guess. You're a week out from fight nine as a pro. Obviously making your American, yeah, 6-1-1, ninth pro fight. Obviously you're a week out from your ninth pro fight, your Conor boxing debut, and obviously your US debut. Um, Probably at this stage now, you're just probably excited and just can't wait to go.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, look, not too much excitement's built up yet. Obviously, I think I'll get excited once I make weight and stuff, once I see the weight coming down a bit more rapidly throughout the week. Still a few kilos to go, so we'll get that out of the way first. But I think, yeah, make weight, I'll get excited and yeah, just excited for something different, a new place, a new a new venture, like off over to the States. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good fun.
You've sort of boxed sort of all over so far. Obviously, York Hall, you boxed in Belfast. Obviously, you've been sort of everywhere. Like it sort of nearly seems to be like your Kurt Walker mold. Like eight of Kurt's nine fights, I think, have been in different venues. So I guess these
Mm.
different venues and these different experiences will probably help you in the long run.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I'm sure down the line when maybe we get offers to fight for a title or something in America or in Australia or wherever it be, I'll have that bit of experience for traveling, traveling abroad and making weight while traveling, things like that. Obviously, I don't really have that traveling to make weight experience yet. I'm going to get this fight round because I know I fought in Spain, Luxembourg, and England twice, but like they're all an hour, 2 hour trips. Like, this is the other side of the world. So yeah, look, it's all about the experience, all about building the experience, and at the end of the day, just getting the job done. We're not going over for here for a holiday. I can have my holiday on the Sunday once I do the business over. Um, but yeah, yeah, look, all experience and just keep on building it.
It's obviously a busy period for Irish boxers. Obviously, stateside, we obviously had Emmet Brennan that fought there on Thursday night. Obviously, yourself, Tommy Hyde, Craig McCarthy, obviously fighting at domestic next week. Brandon McCarthy making his debut. Callum Walsh, Joe Ward, and Fergal McCrory, obviously all fighting as well. So quite obviously a lot of of Irish fighters obviously fighting in America over the course of like a 2 week period. Like you're sort of right in the middle of that. Probably in some ways with so much action in the 1 week, it's who can sort of make a statement out there. Is that probably in your eyes is in the IB Hall when obviously you fight on Saturday night, it's making a statement so that everybody remembers Kevin Cronin fought in Paddy's Week.
And not so much. Look, there's a huge amount of fellas fighting even in Ireland and everywhere from Ireland. So like, there's going to be eyes everywhere. Statement. Look, I want to put on a good performance. Obviously, look, it's a statement. It'd be nearly a statement for myself. Look, right, yeah, I'm still carrying this power down to super middleweight, whatever. Statement to everyone else. I suppose it doesn't really matter, right, at the end of the day, because once you go into the tougher fights, it doesn't really matter what you done in your last fight. You still got to go and do the business. Obviously, look, a highlight reel knockout would be the ideal situation, but at the end of the day, it's the win that matters, at the end of the day, it is, look, it's a journeyman and fighting should be should be routine, but you can't treat it that way. Because I suppose they could be coming over here known as Paddy's Day and an Irish fella coming over supposed to win. They give it a go, like, So obviously stay aware, stay alert, and yeah, look, statement not too bothered about getting the job done is the main thing. Obviously, if it's inside the distance and it looks good, that's all a plus on top of it.
And like obviously your Colin boxing debut obviously as well. Michael Collins, your manager, he's coming over with you as well. So I guess obviously he'll be able to pass on sort of some tips that maybe you may need. Obviously, what day do you fly out to America?
And flying out Tuesday morning, so the 12th. Um, Leaving it tight enough. There was kind of a mix up with weight. We were meant to be fighting a bit heavier this fight 'cause we weren't going to be going down to near super middle really because we were just saying with the traveling and everything, build the experience. We're not used to cutting weight over here, but I think it was just a communication thing with us and the other side that it was agreed at a lighter weight over in America with the opponent. So yeah, that leaves me here cutting a bit extra now again this week than expected. But like that, look, as I said at the start of the interview, it's an experience. At least now, look, I'll be happy once I make the weight and get food back into me, because then I'll have built that experience, right? I've traveled, I've made weight, I've performed, box ticked, onto the next one.
It's been obviously a long camp. Obviously, you started obviously camp, obviously helping preparations for Paddy, obviously in his fight with Berlanga. You know, they probably look at the pictures of you at the sort of start of camp. They sort of the pictures of your
Mm.
last spar. There's obviously a good drop off and obviously weight. Like I would slag you obviously regularly. But it's your first fight since June, so like I guess you were supposed to fight in September in Dublin, and obviously the card was pulled off. So it's sort of I guess you were able to enjoy Christmas sort of in some ways, but you know, it was a hard enough sort of camp for you, probably doing a lot of rounds and shifting a lot of weight from obviously where you were at the start of camp.
Yeah, yeah, like that. I wasn't even walking around. I was shocked when I seen, just even looked at the first bar, last bar photo, because I I wasn't even walking around that heavy. I was only about 86, 87 kilos, which isn't walking around that heavy for me. Um, I think the thing that we done different this camp is I've stripped, like, I've it's just been very strict on nutrition. I'm good with nutrition anyway, but I've just been ridiculously strict. And what happened this camp is I've stripped a lot of body fat. So like that, I'll be looking to come in career best shape for this one, even though I won't be hitting the 168 pound limit, and still gonna be coming in career best shape, because I've stripped a lot of body fat. And yeah, you can kind of see that in the photos. Like even that photo last week, I'm good on Nick, but that's still 6 7 kilos off of fight weight for next week. Like, obviously I'm a bit down from that again, but that's I suppose, look, it just goes to show what you can do when you put in a good camp and stay strict and stay by the book. It helps with Conlon now involved, because I know I'm going to be busy. I know I'm going to be kept active. Obviously, if I do a number here very quickly over in America, it'll just mean I'm going to be out that bit sooner again. If it goes a long, grueling fight or anything like that, I'll be out again soon, but not as soon as I would have been if I get a stoppage early. But I'm going to be active, and that's the main thing, and that's obviously fueling my fire now to get into the best shape possible. And like where I am now, this is the way I'll be for the year now. And me staying here, like, I'm not. There's no more ballooning for the year. We can I can have my day or two, or after the fight now, go away for the weekend with the missus, straight back into training onto the next one, things like that. So yeah, look, it's just going to be strict year ahead now.
Obviously, you're coming up now 5 years as a pro. I'd probably say, you know, you've had obviously amazing opportunities. You know, obviously your fights with Jamie Morrissey last year, you know, 8 fights. Well, be 9 fights, obviously, by the time it comes around to your 5 year point. This obviously signing with Colin Box, and this is, I know we've spoken this previously, but this is now your jump start where you know you can have, you know, 4 5 6 fights, maybe even this year, depending obviously how they go and things like that. Is that the aim for you, obviously, in 2024? Probably fight as much as possible to get these opportunities. Like obviously, we're under no illusions. Probably a win on Saturday night, and you could potentially be obviously be straight back, you know, into an Irish title fight.
Yeah, yeah. Like, activity is obviously the big thing this year, and like 5 years of a pro, it doesn't seem that way because it's been so stop start with no how would I say, security, stability, whatever word you'd use. But we've got it there now. As I said this in an interview before, that we've got that now with Conlon. So now, come Saturday night, that's just kicking it off. Yeah, could be straight into a big fight again after this. Look, obviously, can't look past this weekend, but there's a Katie Taylor card coming up, like, and who wouldn't want to be on it, or supposed to be coming up. There's nothing announced or anything like that, but it's what it sounds like. But look, even if it's not, then it's straight back to activity. I'm sure Conlon have plenty of fights coming up. I'm sure there's word of that Fela seems to be going around social media as well. So there's by the sounds of things, there's going to be loads happening this year. So just like that, yeah, kickstart this next week, and we'll take it from there. Look, one fight at a time, but just going to be a lot busier.
I guess obviously, we've seen obviously Emma Brennan obviously fought, late Thursday night slash Friday morning, obviously with us. I guess obviously he's saying he sort of didn't have a great camp, has obviously American debut. Is there sort of things you can take away from his fight? Sort of do you learn from your own fight coming up on Saturday? Sort of, when people see records, sometimes I know somebody sort of slated your opponent earlier today. When people see records, sometimes they just think that these guys are here for a rollover. If you don't go in there at 100%, that's when obviously upsets can happen.
Yeah, yeah. I don't really need to take it from his fight last week because I had one of my own in Spain. I took the fight in like a week when they say, or it was like 10 days notice, something like that, and it was they said, oh, there's this fella, what was it, Borisov or something, and he had a shocking record, shocking record. So I said, oh yeah, we'll jump into it. Ended up being one of my toughest fights because I just thought I'd walk in and beat him up, and your man was knew that I was doing that and was coming and giving it a good go and like made it a grueling fight for me that it shouldn't have been. So I got my wake up call then. Like every fight since then, I've dominated. Obviously, I had the two fights with Jamie that were close and good fights, but other than them, I've dominated everything. So like I'm switched on for every sort of opponent now. Yeah, I take much notice of people slating opponents anymore because realistically, anyone who comments on an opponent isn't involved in boxing or knows boxing, because you don't really see boxing people commenting on opponents.
Obviously, I want to get your thoughts on Craig McCarthy. Obviously, who was supposed to be your opponent in September. Obviously, it looked like for a long time that you two were sanctioned, and then the BUA decided after a period of time that there wasn't. Obviously, he's obviously fighting someone that you've sparred many rounds with, and Tommy Hyde the same night. What's your sort of thoughts on that? Obviously, I'm not sure you want to obviously give any predictions sort of way on what you think, but obviously, probably when you seen that fight made, you were probably disappointed that obviously your opportunity for the Irish title disappeared.
No, do you know what? Not even really, because do you know what? I was kind of stuck being inactive trying to make that fight. So at least when that fight was made, it was kind of like, right, that's happening. Let's go on. What are we doing? Um, Look, best luck to both fellas. As you said, yeah, and good friends with Tommy Hyde. Share a lot of rounds. Anytime Tommy's home, we spare each other. So, like going prediction wise, I do see Tommy dominating it. To be honest with you, I can see Tommy getting him out of there. I actually see him getting him out of there early as well. But look, Craig's, realistically, I suppose it's a 50-50 fight, so Craig's there to win too. So, um, we'll see. If I was to give a prediction, I'd be giving Tommy by stoppage. Yeah. Um, but about the fight itself, nah. Look, I'm not disappointed. I'm in a high anyway because even when I saw him at the Conlands, it was kind of like put the Craig thing to the back burner and then the fight was made. So it's like it didn't really make a difference to me.
I guess I have a couple of questions. Obviously, I want to throw in the middle. Obviously, not rather than obviously putting them out at the end. Do you want to know who said the questions? Or probably maybe sometimes better to keep who said the questions. Um, we have. Let me see. We have one asking, what's his next haircut going to be?
Yeah, you have
I
it
think
here. You have it here. My barber's gone on holidays now this evening, so I had to get my haircut today. So that's gonna be my haircut for this one. No more perms.
I wonder was that obviously over the picture I put up obviously of you when you're back in the amateurs where you're sort of sliced through the head. Um, that's somebody you know as well. So obviously when they're watching this, they'll probably be laughing away. Um, Another question we obviously got was there's a potential obviously Irish title fight with Tommy Hyde if both come through their fights next week. Would that be? I guess probably it's building the blocks as anybody at the moment. We obviously have Emma Brennan, who's the Celtic light heavyweight champion. You've obviously Tommy and Craig obviously fighting for the Celtic super middleweight belt. You've obviously yourself there as well. So I guess it's sort of trying to piece something together. Probably, it depends on obviously who gives the right opportunity. I guess you're going to get opportunities regardless. We sort of touched on this a bit on the interview already. Like you said, obviously get this fight out of the way and then roll the dice. What does roll the dice sort of mean? Is there something in the pipeline that you just can't say or
And Kind of like we're eyeing something. We're eyeing something. Yeah, yeah, we're eyeing some a good fight. But like that, that's all down to a card being made. That's it's down to a few different factors. So like just basically stepping it up. Like if the one that we were hoping for doesn't come to fruition, then we'll just step up the opponents. Like that. I fought for the Irish title already. I fought for the Celtic title. Obviously, it's no secret that I thought I won both them fights. So like that, if something other than one of the Irish titles popped up as well, it could be a route we'd be going. I'm more open minded now. I was just Celtic title, Irish title, Celtic title, Irish title. Um, but I'm just got to be more open minded now about what suits my career best rather than what everyone else wants. What suits me. So we'll see. Obviously, look, there's one potential fight there that we do want. The Tommy Hyde one, look, I'm definitely not looked at Tommy Hyde as an opponent. Definitely not yet. Look, who knows what the future holds? John, we both have long careers ahead of us. I'd be hoping not because John, me and Tommy, like, as in we know each other. We know each other like the back of our hands in the ring. So obviously, if there's one fight, I probably would be hoping that both of us didn't have would be that one. But like that, it's a crazy sport. You just don't know. Like people in the same gym sometimes end up fighting each other. So who knows? Definitely not eyeing him as like a potential next opponent or Irish title or like that. But we'll see. Like there's, as you say, there's Emmett Brennan there. Yeah, we've our eyes on that one too. So we'll see. Whatever suits me best is what we're going to go with.
I guess obviously that's why you sort of have common boxing there now. It's obviously it's you're probably there's opportunities that are endless where you know previously you might have had to have taken say an opportunity to sort of put yourself in a short window somewhere like even after you know your Celtic and Irish titles that obviously they ended up didn't go in your way. You still got this opportunity at the end of it, so it sort of shows who you are and sort of what you're about. That even though you didn't have the success you hoped you would have had, you still got your sort of dream scenario out of all this and end up.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm happy enough. Like oh, there's no O to protect. There's like I'm happy to take risks. I'm happy to step it up. I'm happy to take a step back and learn. Like this fight now next week, it's a step back, work on a few things, get the win, get out of it. Let's see how you performed. And that'll be the deciding factor for the next move. Um, and kind of stop where we're stopped. I suppose when there's a team there to tell you what to do, it's easier. Stop worrying about getting this and that next and this fight next and that title next. And we're more worrying about me getting to where I need to be before I take them certain fights because we know them fights can now be got because I have the right team there. So we don't have to rush into them. We can just make sure I'm ready in the right position for them and then jump on them. But yeah, like there's definitely going to be step up fights this year. There's definitely going to be title fights this year. What titles? I don't know. Will it be a step up to someone on a European world level? I don't know. We don't know. We'll see what happens next week and then we'll decide, that's kind of what I can afford to do now. Obviously, look, there's some lads that are older than me in the weight, so it's like I feel like I don't necessarily have to rush either yet. But like saying that, I'm not saying I'm not stepping up this year. There's definitely going to be step ups. It's probably going to be a step up straight away, like after next week. So look, it's definitely interesting. I suppose there's no straightforward answer to it, other than let's see how next week goes, and then we'll decide. I have a team there. That's what you do. Like you do the business. You sit down. They'll point out a few things. What do you think you done do good? What they don't think you should have done better. Whether they think you should have a small step up next, so you're ready to take that big jump and jump into a fight that you shouldn't be winning, but they feel like you will. Um, it just makes the journey ahead so much more exciting, really, too, doesn't it? And like obviously, we mentioned a couple of names there of the guys in nine for titles, like, and we can't leave out Jamie's name either because obviously Jamie's the one that's put the blemish on my record. I want to fix that this year. I don't want to. I That's probably the fight I'd be most hungriest for on the scene right now, and the reason being is I just want to I don't want to. I kind of like in my head, I have one domestic fight and I'm moving on. Um, so like it's I'd love to get rid of that blemish, but at the same time, if an Irish title fight comes up on a big card or something like that, I'd probably take it. But you just don't know. Like you could get an international title fight offer on some card, and you could take it, and you might be looking back. Um. So yeah, like I said, there's no real straightforward answer. I'm just more open minded now.
Obviously, the atmosphere, obviously in the AB Hall, obviously we've seen Thomas O'Toole, we've seen Tommy Hyde, we've seen obviously others there. Are you looking forward to obviously the experience of different atmosphere? Obviously, we've heard obviously the Cronin Army, obviously pretty much nearly everywhere you've went. Probably people may not be able to get to the fight as much, but Americans obviously support everywhere, and obviously there's a lot of ones from your area are over in America now. So are you looking forward to obviously a different atmosphere? We've seen anybody, the minute you mention anybody's Irish on American fight card, it seems to be everybody's well supported. So are you looking forward to walking out to a new experience next week?
Yeah, like I looked up videos of it. Um, it's hard to kind of make out what the atmosphere is like. It's just like a big hall, but Americans like love Irish, and they make some noise as well. And so yeah, look, different experience. Like I said in the start, it's just a whole new experience. It's all building blocks for the future again. Um, I yeah, look, I'm excited for all that. Like I said, it really is. I'm taking it. I've kind of stripped myself back to taking it one step at a time. We've put in so much hard work over the last couple of weeks. We've or couple of months. We've stripped down drastically, toned up. Like this, just so much has gone on, and like boxing wise, I'm in a great place as well. Sparring good. Actually, you seen one of my spars as well. I know it was early this camp, but you could say I'm firing cylinders a lot better as well, even since the spar you've seen. And can't remember. I think that was a good spar anyway. But like as in, I'm a lot fitter now. I'm a lot sharper because obviously I'm after a full camp. Yeah, look, good place, the atmosphere. I hope it's good. I hope it's loud as well, because I think there'll be it'll all be stepped up from here, shows wise and all that. Like you've Conlan show now, and the 30th that's in
Ulster
Ulster
Hall.
Hall. Like you could say Ulster Hall's a small hall, big fight night kind of place, so it's like big atmospheres, and that's what I think we'll be getting from here on out. Get Boston out of the way, and I do think I'll be stepped up in the shows and everything, and hopefully get all them slots as well. Maybe even just staying ready all year. Maybe a fight falls through on a week's notice and a slot opens up, and maybe Mick and Jamie can get me on it and on certain cards. So yeah, look, I'll be ready all year and just be ready to learn and experience this different atmospheres, and just boxing wise be ready for all the step ups.
What have you obviously made of obviously the start the Irish box, and obviously by the end of March, we'll even include the Jay Burns show now in April. That'll be 8 shows by April, all here. It's incredible. Obviously, for you, I guess you're obviously seeing all these fight cards and everybody getting fights, and you obviously hadn't had a fight obviously this year yet, but obviously away from yourself when you sort of see so much action happening. You obviously were a big springboard of that last year, obviously with your fights with Jamie. We're obviously on really, really good terms at the moment, the Irish boxing. Obviously, it seems like there's cards happening everywhere. Is it probably it's not too much to dream for probably maybe you to potentially have your own homecoming card and carry this year?
No, definitely not. Definitely not too much to dream. I think yeah, I think that'll definitely happen. I've just got to keep performing. Um, it's not going to be down to any issue anyway of the Kerry people not showing up for a fight night in Kerry, I think it's just teasing everyone now, really. Everyone just wants it. Like even like I noticed, I suppose you could say people know me around the place now, and but ever since signing with Conn, it's exploded that bit more. Like the Jamie fights helped big time. It's like Jesus, walking down the streets and all these strangers know you. But then everyone's seen the Conn signing, and like that. I went downtown today to get a pair of shoes and for a haircut, and I'm like about 50 times, people tapping me, wishing me well for Boston, that I never have seen before. So it's cool. It is, it is really cool. But like that, I've put in the hard work. I'm not just putting it down to fighting in Boston or anything like that. I've put in the hard work. I've built a following. You can see that in my fights. It gets bigger and louder every fight. Um, I don't think there's a person in Ireland wouldn't want to carry fight night, even after just getting the taste of what you could say my army coming to my fights in Cork and Galway and places, what that noise is like. Imagine what they do at home, with 1,500, 2,000 of them, like, it'd be nuts. Definitely not too much to dream. But I'm gonna have a fight or two or maybe even three before it. So I gotta keep the head screwed on, stay switched on. Hopefully I could be going back to Kerry, maybe defending the title or fighting for an international European title or starting my blemish on my record with Jamie Joe. Who knows? There's so many different ways you could go, and you have a fight that was tried to be made twice before as well with Robbie Burke, and I see Robbie Burke back in the scene, but I don't know, is he in that kind of situation to contend for titles and stuff? Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of putting it out there. I see he's back in the scene as well, but yeah, look, we'll see. Um, I'm not thinking too much of an opponents and stuff yet. But
Were
but
the
let's
brown shoes
see.
you bought in town today? Were the brown shoes you bought for line dancing in America?
The brown shoes.
Brown,
Yeah,
brown,
yeah, they're
brown
brown,
kicker shoes.
yeah, golfing shoes.
But look, obviously, thanks as always for your time. Obviously, go well. I may not be able to see your fight sort of live, sort of. So hopefully, I think you're out. Are you actually streaming it off your Facebook? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the story with streaming yet is, because I don't think there's gonna be a link, but there could be a link. I'll be figuring all that out once I get over to Boston. But like, worst case scenario, it'll just be on a tripod and streamed on my Facebook, so people get to see it at least. So it's definitely going to be there. If there's no better stream, but hopefully something else is there. But worst case scenario, like, majority of fights that are even streamed that people are paying for are recorded off a tripod anyway. Like, so people will get to see it that way anyway.
Definitely. Well, listen, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, enjoy your American debut. We'll no doubt catch up with you very, very soon.
Nice one. Thanks, Steve.
Cheers, Kevin. Take care. Thanks. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.